Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Captain Energy. This week I've got something kind of cool. Okay, so first, let me say this video is not sponsored. I bought this thing with my money, and the fact that I use it with other software which is created by this vendor, which is Korg, is no reflection on anything they've given me. Korg has not given me anything except for joy for the sounds that they have and the amazing synthesizers that they make. So just so you know, no money has changed hands. This is 100% from my heart what I think. Okay. Anyway, as you know, I like to make music in a mobile way. I like making it at my studio. I love my studio. I would stay down here forever if I could. But in some cases, that's just not possible. So when I do go somewhere, anywhere, I like to have something with me just in case inspiration strikes. And typically, up until now, that's been my iPad. Okay, and it's still my iPad, kind of. But I was using Korg Gadget. It's a great software package from Korg, and it's I'll say, very Reason-esque. It's a lot like Reason in the way that it works because all the instruments are virtual. The downside to it is that it doesn't really seem to let you use any of the external instruments like Cubase. You can use a lot of plug-in instruments, or Cubases rather, on the iPad. But from what I have seen of it, it's not that limited. It's got a lot of options, and I kind of like some of the limits that it imposes on you. It's kind of nice to just kind of be restricted in some ways, because sometimes when you can do anything, you don't do anything. It's better to have limitations and have to work within the confinement of those limitations and come up with something great, which I believe happens more with less, if you get what I'm saying. However, what I did want is a way to control this thing nicely without putting my fingers all over the screen. That's real nice that I can turn the knobs and I can do things on the screen, and it's fantastic, except for sometimes I just don't want to. It's not very realistic. There's no feedback. You don't feel anything when you're playing the keys on a keyboard or a screen. There's no knobs to really turn you, like slide your finger up and down or you're tapping glass. It kind of feels a lot more like pretend than actually making music, interface-wise. Now, not to take away from the iPad, I love my iPads, but I wanted a way to be able to touch my music, grab it, play it, do things to it that I would do with a normal keyboard, at a normal setup. But I went and got this guy. Bam! This is the Korg Nano-Key Studio. This thing is awesome. It gives you 25 keys, 8 drum pads, 8 knobs, and a chaos pad, plus a few little tricks right over here, and up to 10 octaves 10 octaves of range on the keyboard, because it goes down 4 from the top and up 4 from the bottom. I should say the middle is where it starts off, and it's just awesome. This thing's great, and it's Bluetooth or wired. It works with the PC. It works with the Mac. It also works with the iOS devices that I have, my phone and my iPads. Probably would work with Android if you had the right wire for it. It's just a standard USB wire, and it requires 2 AA batteries if you can use it on battery power, because you can use it on Bluetooth without plugging it in. So technically, this with a fresh set of batteries in a freshly charged iPad, and I can go anywhere and make music. Let's take a look. I picked up a new device. This is the Korg Nano-Key Studio. And I wanted to show it to you guys because I thought it was pretty cool, and I thought maybe some of you might like it. First of all, it's a mobile interface for music creation, and I found this thing to be pretty great, especially when used with the product it was actually created for, which is Korg Gadget. As you know, I love Korg Gadget. It's one of my favorite mobile applications for music making. Now, you can tell by right here, there's a little blue light. I don't know if you can quite see the blue light, but it's Bluetooth. So you can hook it up USB right here, or you can use batteries. It uses 2 AAA batteries, and you get the Bluetooth connection. And I'm not a huge fan of batteries. I'm using them mostly just to show you guys that it works Bluetooth. There's little to no delay, if there's any delay at all, from pressing a key to triggering a sound. I mean, that's pretty darn good. You get 8 knobs. The 8 knobs have they're not continuous spin. They do have a start and stop point, but they're assignable, and in most cases they're assigned to different parts of the synth that you're using. Like this one, it doesn't really do much in this particular synth, but in many synths I have found that the second row is attack, decay, sustain, and release, and then cut off resonance, and then these two alternate quite a bit depending on the synth. You also have an XY pad here, which can trigger sounds across. You can put it in, there are 3 modes of operation. Touch scale, which lets you go up and down the scale. There's an XY, so you get like a chaos type pad if you want, and pitch and modulation. So you have modulations up and down, pitch is left and right. So you get to use this in place of your, you don't have wheels on it. There's not a lot of room for other types of controls, but it's pretty cool. It does have everything you need as far as control wise right there. You have octaves. Right now it's a center octave where the lights are both off, and as you go up, the light goes from white to pink to red to blinking red. That's 4 up from the center, and you have a same thing, 4 down from the center. So you basically have 10 total octaves that you can hit by alternating your just alternating the octaves on the buttons. Sometimes that's useful, sometimes it's not, but it's pretty cool that they allow you to jump around the keyboard a little bit like that when you only have 25 keys. Now, on the right here, you'll notice that there are 8 drum pads, and these 8 drum pads trigger the 8 drum sounds on the drum pads. And if you want, you can also just hit down 1 octave, and so you're not limited to just using the drum pads, which, by the way, you can map to vary what keys they would hit. They don't have to be strictly right down the line like they are right now. They can work any way you like them. It comes with some software that allows you to build scenes on this with these pads and with all the knobs as well, so that if you wanted to, for example, have it set up for one synth in scene 1 and another synth in scene 2 and a drum machine for scene 3 and 4, so you could have all 16 pads, you could do that. Now if you look here, you'll see the scene button. This is how you select your scenes. You press scene, then you pick the scene you want to open, whichever one you want to use. Shift and tap they change the functions of the buttons. Right now it's set to wireless, but if I go, I can put on key sync, I can tell it my arpeggiator range, and you can see it changes basically 1 octave, 2 octaves, 3 octaves, 4 octaves. You can pick my type of arpeggiator, and they kind of, you can see the lights flicker to tell you what's kind of going on with them. You'll see that's like an up and down. This one's an up, but you can pick your ARP type by using shift in one of these buttons. Your gate type, you can choose there are 16, I believe 16 gate types to choose with your arpeggiators. There's your scale, so you can pick I can say I want to be in whatever scale I want to be in. Hit this right here, boom, and I can start mess with my scale. Right now I can't do anything with that because I don't have the scale enabled, but I'll get to that in a second here. After you get past that, there's your arpeggiator. Turn it on. And you can turn it off the same way. There we go. With chord pads, you get some chords set up here, so you can, which is kind of nice, especially with the limitation of only having 25 keys. You could set instant house track basically. But you can set the chords that you want them to play with the software that it has, the additional software. And once they're set, you can have your chords ready to rock, ready to play, all right up here on these bars. I'm going to turn that off. Then there are two more buttons here. There's Easy Scale, which Easy Scale lets you see the notes in the scale that you've chosen. So if I go over here to the software, for example, and we go to the scale, and I say I want it to be in C, chromatic, and there we go. And now we'll go down here. You can see now I'm in, these just changed, the lights just changed, and it's saying C, chromatic is 12 keys. Now, what it does, you'll notice what I just did. I climbed up what would be the white keys. When you're in easy scale mode, okay, the notes move down to all the white keys, essentially, which are actually the black keys in this. And your black keys, which are the gray keys, become chord keys. So that's kind of neat. It's kind of just to the part that's really neat about it is that if I go over and I change my scale, okay, to, we'll say Dorian, I don't have wasted keys. With only 25 keys, you want to kind of get your max out of it as much as you can. So this allows you to just have the keys you need right at your fingertips type thing. You can just jump around from, they're always going to be, there we go. So this is the Bali Palog. I'm not sure if I'm going to butcher this. Bali Palog? I've never heard of this, but the Japanese scale. Let's see. Pretty nice. But the Chinese, there's a bunch of different things in here. Major third, minor third, fourth, fifth, octave. And then there is scale guide. Now, scale guide, the difference between scale guide and easy scale just jumps right to it. It says, okay, you want to use Dorian scale. Notes are mapped. Boom, done. Scale guide is better if you're trying to educate yourself on what's in this scale. Because now if I pick, over here, we'll pick this Spanish scale, okay? And we'll go and see. It's going to go, okay, well, the notes that are in that scale are these right here. You see the lit up keys? But the other side of it is that where using the easy scale cuts out the unnecessary notes, this is still chromatic. So I can jump around and go whatever. Doesn't sound great, but I have access to all the notes with just the lights as a reference to the scale that I said I wanted to be able to use. One thing you will notice about this keyboard, and it's not much you can do about this, but the keys are, I'm just turning down the sound so you can just hear the keys while I do this, but they sound kind of like I'm typing a letter, you know what I mean? And it sounds like a word processor or something. A word processor. Wow, that just dated me a little bit. Sorry. It sounds like I'm typing. Anyway, but the pads don't have that. The pads are nice and they're rubber and they feel like a MPC type pad, which is really nice. But that clicky sound is kind of nice in my mind. Now, maybe you don't like it or whatever. Maybe it bugs you. But I've used a lot of smaller controllers. I mean, I've got to my side here, I've got my Akai MPK Mini, and I do like this controller. Don't get me wrong. Okay, it's not as robust in features as this Korg is, because especially not with Gadget, because obviously this was made for Gadget, where this was made for just everything. You still get your 8 knobs, they're all stop points, you get your 25 keys. What you don't get is you don't get scales on it, or lit up keys, so that you kind of get a good feel for what's happening. Also, this is the original model that didn't even have the joystick to do modulation and pitch, like a pitch bend. It's a good little unit. I do use it. You know what I mean? But it's not as portable as this. I mean, if you look at it, it's a little wider, it's a little higher, and it's a little wider, it's a little deeper, and it's thicker, like twice as thick as the Korg. So as far as portability goes, this beats it. Yeah, the Korg, that is. The Korg beats the Akai, in my mind, for portability. Also, can be used with batteries, where on the Akai, I always have to use a USB cable. And the USB cable, for some reason, they decided to put it on the side here, on these units. Seems like every one of them has it on the side. Even the Korg has it on the side. I kind of wish that wasn't a thing, but whatever. Or that the Korg personally, in my opinion, have rechargeable batteries, or a rechargeable battery pack in it that I then charge with the USB, but I'm not required to use. The batteries that are in there right now are straight up, regular batteries, throw them away and destroy the planet type thing, I'm going to get some rechargeables for it, but that's neither here nor there. But my point is, the portability of this is just so nice. The integration is very nice. It's very thin compared to other controllers. I mean, it's good. It's probably twice as thick as this iPad, maybe 3 times as thick as this iPad, but it's nice. It's got a good feel, and I will definitely be using it a lot. So now, what I would like to do is I would like to just kind of jam out on it a little bit and let you see it being used. Yeah, and I'll make some music with Gadget and just see where we land. I have no real plans per se for it at the moment. I have no real direction in my song. I'm just gonna jam out a little bit and see what happens, and you guys can check it out if you want. And but overall, I will say I think this is overpriced, because $179 is what it goes for. It is a great little controller, and I'm gonna keep it. I like the feel of it, and I like everything about it. But I just feel like it should be about $100, maybe $130 the most. I mean, when I can go to Guitar Center or wherever and get that Akai, which has essentially the same level of controls. Doesn't have the scales, but whatever. Hey, learn to play the keyboard. Take a music theory class type thing, or something, or get a book. I mean, there's a great book by an author that I picked up, and I'll tell you, his name's Ross Trottier. I got it off Amazon. I think it was like $20. It's called Music Theory in One Lesson. I'll just show it to you, I guess. This book is amazing, and it's accompanied by a YouTube video that you can actually watch. I actually watched the YouTube video and then bought the book after, when I was, looking for a good, solid book to recommend to people. Totally worth the money. Totally good reference, and that'll get you started on your music theory journey. But yeah, I mean, that the Akai is a nice little keyboard, and it's only about $100. $109, I think, was the most I've seen it for. And for like an extra $20, you can actually get one that has like 128 built-in sounds, so you can go one step further and actually make music with the keyboard without any other devices. So that's kind of neat. That one works off batteries. I don't know if it's Bluetooth, but yeah, I'm just saying, It's good, just a little overpriced in my opinion, but it's Korg, so you know, what are you gonna do? All right, so I'm gonna switch off the microphone, and we're gonna do some production stuff with this, a little bit of music, and just kind of see what this thing can, how it works. All right, here we go. All right, guys. Well, that's kind of enough for now, I guess. I'm just playing around, so I'll stop for now. But if you enjoyed watching the music being made, me going through all the, the steps I go through here, this is nowhere near done. This is kind of very scratch tracky. But, I mean, when you're out and about, you're not going to finish every musical idea you have. In some cases, you just need to get a little bit of it down, take it home, dump it out into another application maybe. I don't know. Maybe finish it here, maybe not. Depends on your mood, depends what you like. But got a nice little house groove going on here. And, can work with this from here. You get your mixer right down here, so I can just expand that. And now I can just go... break it down, do what you want with it. Anyway, if you did enjoy this, let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know also. But definitely let me know something in the comments. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe so you know when these videos are coming up. And if you liked the video, don't forget to click like. And I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, get yourself a controller of some kind, any kind, even if it's your mouse and your DAW, and go make some music, because that's what it's all about, man. That's why we're all here. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. All right.